Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a third round PS4 tournament battle between Sliverinekiller going up against Mr. Badass 246.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you listening?
Ricky J. Sparks.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome. And what a showdown we have here, folks. Mr. Badass going up against Sliverinekiller, and Mr. Badass in the head-to-head is up 3-2. So this is going to be a crazy war, man. And when you're down to 64 fighters, these fighters are no joke, man. And I'm not going to say it out of respect, but everybody in this tournament was amazing. We had no tomato cans in this tournament, but tomato cans won't be served in this round of this tournament. This is just going to be an epic battle, and I'm pumped up, and hopefully you guys are too. Welcome aboard, and I thank you guys for watching and taking part in this tournament if you're one of the fighters, man. So let's see what happens. And right now, both of them are being very cautious. And you know it's like a smoke screen, people. They're just throwing some strikes, but you know both of them wanna grapple. Well, I think Mr. Badass wants to grapple a little bit more than Sliverinekiller does, just because he's using Damian Maya. And for all you guys that don't know, I do a pretty good Damian Maya impersonation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that the greatest element in the world is Jiu-Jitsu. I gotta show you guys. Oh, look at this. Sliverin's got him rocked. I used to do a series called The Cuckoo Characters, where I would go online and just pretend to be one of my impersonations, and I did one on Damian Maya. I'll put a link in this video. You gotta check it out. I went online and pretended I was Damian Maya. Well, for me, I like to practice in the game, Ricky, to perfect my skills in real life. That's it. São Paulo, Brazil, for life. So what I'm noticing right here is Sliverin is content with keeping it on the feet. He's got a rock, so he could sit back. Oh, he rocked him again. And this would be great for Sliverin's confidence, because if he's down 3-2 in their epic rival showdown, if he can get a W early and get up early in this series, man, could do a lot for his confidence. And getting 2 rocks in this fight this early is great for him. But I don't know about you guys. I want to see them roll on the mat. I want to see who's got the denying ability, who's got the composure. Oh, but I don't think Sliverin wants to take it to the mat. And a clear victory for Sliverin in that round. What a great little round. So I think one more stun for Mr. Badass, and he's got to turn this into a jiu-jitsu match. He's got to just say, forget the strikes, I'm going to the mat. Sometimes I get like that when holy cow, playing ranked for me is not enjoyable, man. I'm in Division 5 and I'm doing pretty good. But once I get rocked a bunch of times, I just try to catch my opponent's kick and go for that takedown and just try to grapple. Because after you get rocked a bunch of times, there's no way that your guy, with his lack of head health, can exchange with these elite guys online. And I don't know about you guys, that sometimes I'm in the mood to play this game, but not in the mood to play ranked. So what I do is I just play the quick matches. Because in the quick matches, you know, if you lose, it's not going to affect anything. But when you're playing ranked and you lose, oh my gosh. Leaves a sour taste in your mouth. But the one thing I don't like, and I know they're coming up with a patch, and I don't think they're going to change this, that you can't see your your opponent's stamina when you're in the upper divisions. Because that would always dictate what you're going to do, how you're going to, you know, you're going to push forward a little bit more, you're going to back off a little bit. And the fact that you can't see it when you're in the upper divisions, I don't know, man. I used to kind of like it, but I don't really like it. Let me know if you like it. My dog does not like it. I don't know if you heard him bark right there. But right now, I kind of like what Mr. Badass is kind of doing in this second round. He's kind of slowing the pace down. It's amazing how he still doesn't want to clinch. He doesn't want to do anything. But maybe he's using Damian Maya because he knows that Sliverinekiller is quite a great grappler. He's an elite grappler. I can't say quite a great. He's an elite grappler. And using Damian Maya may just cancel out his game plan. And you know Damian Maya, of all people, is the best on his back. But let's see. Is he going to try to work some magic? He may be popping out of here. He may be popping out of sprawl. Let's see what happens. He's just waiting to see if Sliverine's gonna transition. But Sliverine may just sit here. They're both waiting for each other to transition. This is where, you know, two elite guys just kind of cancel each other out. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Nobody wants to take a chance. But at this point, Sliverine can just, you know, hit him with some pitter-patter shots and win this fight. Because look at that crazy stamina disadvantage, people. But let's see what Mr. Badass does. This is two amazing fighters. And let me know, like I don't recall seeing Mr. Badass in the rankings, but if he beats Sliverine 3-2 in their head-to-head, he's definitely in the top 100. So let me know where he stands. Well, that was a much even round, but I still got to give that round to Sliverine. So here we go, people. Mutual respect shown. And it's so funny how when we're getting to these later rounds of fights, man, you don't see the crazy wackiness that we saw in the first couple rounds. And the funny thing is, man, I enjoyed those round one fights. The Street Fighter battles, the crazy, you know, brawls that some of these guys were having were so much fun to watch. This is fun to watch too. It's more of a strategic battle, but man, did those first round fights make me laugh. And hopefully those fights made you laugh as well. Oh, Badass! Turning the tables! The tables have been turned! And Mr. Badass is living up to his name. And if I'm putting on my Eddie Bravo hat right now, this is Mr. Badass's round. You know, it's 2 rounds for Sliverine in the books. But Mr. Badass, oh, but oh, now it's tied. And his stamina is low. And it'll be interesting to see if Mr. Badass drops this first fight, if he's going to use Damian Maya. Or if this wasn't his division. Because you know Sliverinekiller, his go-to guy is GSP. So maybe this is not Mr. Badass's division. So it'll be interesting to see what's the next division that we're going to see with these two guys, man. And now Mr. Badass is being cautious, which he should be. Oh, he's rocked. Oh, and down he goes. And this could spell the end. And Sliverine's got to be careful, though. He can't just throw reckless stuff because he could duck. Badass could duck and then hit him up with something and end the fight. Oh, like that. Look at that. Rocked and rocks him back. He may go for a nice little body action. There, I was calling that. And Badass knew it was coming too. Oh. Wow. Badass is unbelievable when he's rocked. Holy cow. You got to be so careful. Oh, and I would have just sit down. I would just keep it there. Oh, wow. He doesn't want to go and finish it. I think Sliverine was shocked that he was in that kind of submissive kind of position. And it's over. Now he's going to pounce. And it's 1-0 for Sliverine. Oh my gosh. These guys are so even. And look at this. In this second fight, we're moving on to the featherweight division. And I'm thinking this is Mr. Badass's division. I think he was kind of fighting in a division that he wasn't the most familiar with. So we're going to see him in his element. So let's see. So picking Aldo in the featherweight division is great, man. He is just so good all around. He's got the Muay Thai base. He's got great takedown defense. It's like in the high 90s. He's got a great ground game, great clinch game. Can't go wrong with Aldo. The only one thing with Aldo is he's not very tall. So his reach isn't the best against some of the taller guys like Holloway. Even like an Ortega. So here we go. We haven't seen them slow dance. And look at that. They're tangoing it up. Oh, nice little leg grab right there. So all those transitions. But look at the referee going right in there. But all the transitions were... It's very hard to kind of deal with. You see him going an overhand, over-under. You see him going into single collar. And then bam, hits up the leg grab. Oh, the rockabye baby. So I find the rockabye baby there, that technique doesn't work. I want to make a video on arm trapping in crucifix. Because when you're facing guys like Sliverine, this position, he's just so good. Good job on Badass to getting into side saddle. Nice, and that's the best way. He did the old little jailbreak transition to get out of side control. And this position right here, oh my gosh. I'll tell you in another video, but this one drives me nuts. And that's why it's good to have a guy that has that full guard transition. Because if you don't, man, there's some guys that just deny that every transition. I try to, you know, catch the arm and then transition out, but man, it's tough. So this is high level, people. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Because you know, and at this point, Mr. Badass wants to posture up. But Sliverine knows that. Oh, wow. What a reversal. And Sliverine had the grappling advantage, it looked like, just by throwing all those punches. Oh, wow. This is a back and forth battle. Wow. Unbelievable. Kind of got to give that to Sliverine based on the stats after that first round, but I really like what Badass is doing. It's so even when it comes to the skill level right here that it could go both ways. Who's going to get lucky? Who's going to have a mind lapse? That's the question. All it takes is somebody kind of going for something a little too much or being a little too passive. Sometimes when I'm fighting though, people, if I'm facing a really aggressive guy, I tend to like back away and try to wait to try to grab a leg, catch a leg, or block a leg kick to go for a takedown. And then I find myself just turning into like a human punching bag. I got to do a lot more of just planting my feet and going jab, uppercut, hook.
Yes, Joe, I would agree with you there. Trying to establish that jab once again. Hard inside leg kick lands. Wow, what a back and forth exchange.
This is... It's funny, I'm watching and just kind of taking all of this in. That was kind of like a desperation kind of takedown. I don't think that was necessary for Sliverine, but you know what? I'm not going to question him. And that switch kick, the speed of Aldo is just so hard to deal with in this division. And those body kicks, tough to grab. And speaking of grabbing, Sliverine's going right in. Oh, good denial. Oh, denial right back. And look at that grappling advantage that Sliverine just created right there by hitting up with those knees. If you're unfamiliar with the grappling advantage, look at the middle top of the screen. So right now, Sliverine had a big grappling advantage right there. And he was able to get that leg grab. And throwing those punches creates that grappling advantage, which allows you to transition easier. Good denial right here, and this is the position. Ooh. He likes stack, but he preferred to come in and get on the mat. See, and this is interesting that he's pausing. For me, I just unload the tank. Let me know if you're a tank unloader when it comes into mount. You get into mount and you're like, just let it all out. That's what I do. Maybe I got to be a little bit more patient. As we're seeing here, Sliverine just methodically doing some damage on the mat. But understanding that, you know what, there's still 3 rounds and a bit left. No need to go full throttle. And he's got less stamina than his opponent, so he's gotta ration what he's got. Oh, oh wow. I think he just did that for points. Because it was quick. Let me know if you guys saw that. See right here? Let's see if he does it again. He's doing it to get some points. Get some points to win the round. And hopefully he goes to the menu. Well, I don't understand why he's not throwing. I would be throwing some punches. But he's looking to win rounds at this point. See, submission attempts. I don't know if I'm not seeing it on the screen, but I didn't really see submission attempts on that stat sheet. But obviously it counts towards something. A lot of people were saying that it's all based on damage, but nobody really got rocked that round. So thinking Sliverine's thinking the referees will see 3 submission attempts and give him the round. And I kind of agree with him. Let me know if you think that move is cheap or strategy. In my opinion, I think it's good strategy. Oh! Oh, wow! And this is what makes great fighters. They're able to showcase a grappling game, show a clinch game, and then in the next round, show a stand-up game. Not a one-trick pony. Oh, and he's going to slow dance. Boys to Men, End of the Road. One of my favorite songs in the 90s. Wow, he went from tie to over-under. See, I like what Sliverine's doing because he's so unpredictable. Most guys, they get into tie and they want to elbow you to the head or knee you to the head or the body. And he gave up a really good position to get into over-under just to give Mr. Badass something else to think about. Oh, and that is hard to catch. Let's see if he goes into crucifix. Doesn't. But he knew Mr. Badass was waiting for him to do that. Oh, reversal. And let's see if the badass can do something with this great position. Well, it looked like he wanted to get up.
He's got excellent pressure from the top. Moved into half guard.
With 2 minutes and change to go in round 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he kind of knew he wants to posture up. And most guys are
He's now working
going for posturing up over mount.
Well, just because you're on your back doesn't mean you can't.
You guys notice that? Most guys in UFC 3 would rather posture up in half guard or in full guard rather than get into mount. Whoa. And if that was Ortega, never go up and sprawl when you're facing Ortega. Because all a guy needs to do is L2 and up, and it's a jumping guillotine. I believe it's 2 gates. So this is now turning into a much even battle. Oh my gosh.
excellent movement on the ground here. Constantly moving, constantly staying.
And if you guys are wondering if I've ever faced any of these guys, I faced Sliverinekiller in UFC 2, and I faced him once in UFC 3. Oh my god. I got grappled into submission. I didn't submit. I believe he KO'd me. And it was in, I believe it was in the second or third round. But to my defense, that was like a month ago. I feel like I'm better now. I feel like I'm better. I'm using my friends. If you haven't checked out ESFL, it's an unbelievable organization that actually broadcasts UFC 3. They actually broadcast it like it's a pay-per-view. And I got my friends at the ESFL team that are training me like I'm Logan Paul facing KSI. Oh my gosh, these guys are amazing. They're teaching me all the tricks. And big shout out to Jab Straight Spam, Mr. Scotland, for giving up some of his time to teach me some of the tricks of the game. And I'm trying to do more of that. As you see Sliverine get in the back right here, I'm trying to do more of that. You know, practicing with people and just playing with the subscribers. You know, I'm not one to pretend that I'm the best at this game. You guys know that. And I would love to just kind of connect a little bit more with my audience. Oh, it's kind of surprising that Badass kind of let him get that transition right there. Oh, and a reversal. Good denial. That denial is crucial. So right here, what's Sliverine going to do? He's got denied twice. He may go up the middle. Transitioning to half guard up the middle is harder to stop. Oh, wow, that's surprising. Badass doing well on the mat. Elects to stand things up. And Sliverine's a smart dude for using Frankie Edgar because he's got the best stamina in this division, in my opinion. But Aldo's got the best complete game in this division, in my opinion. Oh, he's rocked. Wow. And I like how Sliverine decided to unload the tank there on that little segment, or that little sequence. And Badass is in trouble. And I really like, again, how Sliverine's not trying to overdo it here in this spot. Being patient, throwing some shots, but looking to see what Badass is going to do and just blocking those transitions. A lot of us guys, they end up going like all WrestleFest happy, you know? Just button mashing. Like it's Ninja Turtles arcade. Let me know if you remember those games in the arcade. Right here, nice little stuff. And they're both waiting. Oh. He was faking, and then he went for the belly to belly. In my opinion, it's got to be. Oh, I don't know, man. Could be 4. Oh no, second round could have gone to Mr. Badass. It could be 3-1 Sliverine. I don't know, man. It's a close battle. But I think going into this next round, if I'm in Badass's corner, you gotta just go for it, man. Your tournament life is on the line. You've been kicking butt and taking names. You've gotten this far. We're hitting up the 5th round in this very even fight. You gotta just go for broke, man. Go for broke. Don't worry about anything else. Just go for it, brother. And let's see if he does. 'Cause winning a round here is not going to do him anything. And if I'm Sliverine, I'm just going to touch him and go. Touch him and go. And I think that's what he's doing. No, he's going for it. This guy. He has no fear. I would just be touching, running around, getting Eve Levine to get in the way a little bit. But I wouldn't be looking for any crazy haymakers. No crazy overhands, no crazy kicks. Stick to boxing. And I wouldn't even be swaying either. Like swaying back maybe, but nothing side to side. Because you don't want to get rocked. You don't want to get flash KO'd. And Badass has to do the complete opposite. Oh, he's rocked. There he goes. Wow. He's got to do more of that. Let me know if you agree. He's got to do it, man. He's got to do it. He's got to look for something. And I believe Aldo has a spinning kick. Go for something. He's got 3 minutes. Even Aldo on screen, he's looking at the clock too, thinking, I don't have a lot of time, man. I don't have a lot of time. My tournament life is on the line. I got to go for it. And I love how Sliverine is just staying tight. Oh, wow. Who's in? I was going to say, who's rocked? It's Mr. Badass. But I like how Sliverine's not going for anything too crazy. He doesn't want to whiff and get KO'd. Look at that. Smart fighter. Clever fighter right there. He knows he's up. He's not getting too excited. And he doesn't want to get KO'd at this point after all that work, after all that grinding. And he's going to get KO'd? No way. Staying tight. Look at this. Very impressed with both guys, but impressed with Sliverine's composure and his ability to dial things back. And Badass is looking for that. The crazy uppercuts, the crazy overhands, the switch kick to the body. He's got to just unload. Oh, and he's trying, man. He's trying. And respect goes out to both guys, but he tried it. He threw out the kitchen sink. He basically threw out the kitchen sink, put in the middle of the octagon, and tried to go for broke, but couldn't come through. And we got Sliverinekiller moving on, man. And that's impressive, especially when he was losing the head-to-head against Mr. Badass, and then he came through to win 2 tough fights. Unbelievable stuff. He will be looking to face the winner of Sing 28 going up against Kevin G. And when they get to that point, that's going to be the round of 32, which is insane. I can't believe we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. But anyhow, people, my voice is going, and I got to get some water. I'll catch you in the next video. Let me know if you enjoyed these fights. Let me know if you enjoyed this epic battle, and I'll catch you in the next video. This is Ricky J, baby, from Ricky J Sports. Have a great day, man, and you are awesome.